Hello, everybody. It's Joan here. So, yesterday, Matt had a really rough day and he was not feeling good. He had a tummy ache, and no matter what I tried, it wasn't helping. And so, by the end of the night, I was trying to get him ready for bed to go lay down, and maybe that would help his tummy. He woke up fine, and then as he went to as he ate his breakfast and stuff, then he started not feeling well, and I thought it was probably he probably had gas or something, right? But whatever, he had a tummy ache, and so I tried different things to help him, and nothing was helping. And so then by the time it was bedtime and I went to get him to bed, help him with his toothbrush and get him his nighttime medicine, he went into uh, focal onset seizure, and he was holding his toothbrush and he couldn't open his jaw so that I could get it out. And I wasn't sure if it was going to be a focal onset or if it was going to be a grand mal. So, of course, lots of emotions come back, post-traumatic stress even, on him falling with a toothbrush in his mouth may not be the best thing. So trying to take the toothbrush out and going through all of that, and after I got it out, I got him to open his jaw just enough to pull it out, and then I went behind him and just I started to cry as I was hugging him because it was so exhausting having him not feel well all day, and then to have to go through that. And I've been through this many, many, many times. It doesn't mean I don't cry. It doesn't mean that I don't get frustrated or wish something better for him all the time, all the time. But when I was hugging him, I could feel his heartbeat, and like I'm behind him, so I'm holding him because I don't want him to see me crying, and I don't want him to see me crying, even though he probably isn't aware of what happens while he is going through these seizures. I still don't want him to even remotely think he was the reason for me crying, because he isn't. I wanted him to know that I'm there for him always, right? So I'm behind him, holding him up just in case he has a grand mal seizure, and hugging him, and I just start to cry because I feel for him, this poor guy. I can only imagine what he goes through and what he, for the over half of his life, has gone through. But it's a matter of it's a matter of like where I am in the moment. And last night I was exhausted. I was tired. He'd been not well all day, and I just wish I could do more for him. So I broke down and I started crying. Sometimes that's what we need to do. We just need to cry, right? Because it's so much, but it doesn't mean that you're not strong. It doesn't mean you're not holding it together. Sometimes it means you are. You're exactly who you need to be. So although I didn't show Matt that I was crying, I didn't stop anybody else from seeing me cry. I didn't stop my tears. I allowed them, because people can only help you if they know there's something wrong. And it's okay to let it go, right? So when I was able to talk, I talked with my husband. We tried some other medicine with Matt, and this morning he woke up and he feels a lot better. I'm crossing my fingers that he's feeling better all day because he was feeling good yesterday morning too after a good night's sleep. But we get to choose who we want to be in every moment. We get to choose what role we're going to play. And sometimes that role is letting go. When you have no control over anything, and it is so frustrating, because you just want to control it all, and you just finally let go, and it happens to come out in tears, that's okay too. It's okay. You're not weak for crying. And actually, you're stronger just for crying, just for knowing that's what you need. Let it go. Life brings you so many crazy things. So many crazy things. And sometimes you have to decide on what it is you're going to deal with at that time. Many strange things that we have no control over. I have no control over what's happening with Matt at all. For his whole life, I've been taking care of him and trying everything I can to make sure that he has a great life, to make sure that he has the best life he could possibly have. And for me, that means doing research on different medications for epilepsy. That means looking up diets that do better for epilepsy. That means like learning different educational things or group day group things, which he's never allowed to go to because of his seizures not being under control. I have no control over that either. I have no control over all the policies and procedures that the government has, lack of funding to care for a child like Matt. The list goes on and on. I have no control over what's going to pop up next in his health issues, like when he falls and cracks his head, or when he falls and breaks his shoulder, or when he's not even there for days and weeks. I have no control over any of it. I have no control over what people say about it. I have no control over comments I get. That's who they choose to be. What I do have control over is how I act and how I react. I learned a while ago that sometimes it's better to say nothing than to say anything. Sometimes it's just better to say thank you and let it go, because it's not worth it for you to hold on to stuff that you don't need to hold on to. Some things you have no control over. You have no control over people. I have no control over anybody else but myself. Sure, I would love the world to be different. Sure, I would love everybody to see it the way I see it. And to, like I watched a show, a heartwarming show, of course, about this lady. I wish I could remember her name, but she does this really cool thing in California fires, is she rescues animals from the fire, ones that all animals, but especially ones like horses and cows and all that. And it was really cool. But she was basically, her thought was the same thing. Like, if the world worked the way the Bleeding Hearts saw it to work, but it doesn't. And we have to know that all we can do is what we can do, right? All we can do is be the best we can be. All we can do is know that in every moment you get to choose who you want to be. You can't control other people. And I'm come to the point now where I don't want to. Does it hurt my feelings sometimes when people don't do what I wish they would do? You betcha. When people go and put themselves in danger, you betcha but I have no control over it. Does it hurt my feelings when they don't think about what they're doing to other people? You betcha. But again, I have no control over it. I have no control over anybody else except myself. And all I can do is take care of me. All I can do is take care of me. Take care of my family the best I can. And know that everything is working out for me. Everything's working out. When my husband came back yesterday, he knows my comfort food. So my comfort food is chocolate. I love chocolate. And he brought me a chocolate. And for whatever reason, as I was eating that chocolate, it reminded me to remind myself to say, everything's working out for me. And so he handed me the chocolate. I was like, chocolate, yay! Because I was really stressed about Matt and really worried about him not feeling well. And then the seizure and everything that was going on was just too much. And and then as I took the first bite, it was like a reminder that everything is working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. Matt's going to be okay, and everything's going to work out. And as I reminded myself that, and then we went and had some fun, and we did some fun things. And I reminded myself, everything is going to be okay. But when you stay focused on something that is so stressful like that, and you don't allow it to get out, and you allow all your frustration and all your anger and all your uncontrollable stuff, the stuff that you can't control, you hold on to it, and when you do that, you're keeping that wound open. But when you choose to let it go, when you choose to cry it out, when you choose to remind yourself that everything's working out, and when you choose to be the better you, that's when things work. You're worth it. Take baby steps if you have to. It's okay. You will get through it no matter what it is. You've gotten this far now. Don't give up. You are enough. You are worth it. And I love you. Make an amazing day, everybody.